Nope, 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 nope. It's on the. Okay, I see my mistake here. Yep, there we go. Click that. Okay, there. That's much better. Okay. Oh, for those who may be watching, let's see, or eventually watch because I'll upload this to YouTube when I'm done. Or I should say export from Twitch to YouTube. Let's see. Okay. So it says I'm live. Yeah, I prepared this game here, ZeroG, 11 bases, flattened an area in there because I wanted to be able to spawn in a base, look at it a bit, without having to, like for mine, I had a basement to it, and I didn't want to spend time wasting your time clearing it out. But if I spawn on all the bases and then went got messed around with that sort of stuff, then technically I'd be viewing all the bases in advance, which kind of technically on the other videos I spawned the things all in. I just didn't necessarily go through and poke around them. I just spawned them in all on a base. But in this case, I flattened a space of ground. It's not big enough for me to place out all the bases, so it'll be I'll be going one base at a time. Now, let's see. Currently, there is a base currently in the game. So if I load the game here, and we want to grab my spreadsheet. That's what I'm forgetting. Where did I put that spreadsheet? Spreadsheet. Here we go. Again, notes. Okay. That's the notes from the wrong challenge. This is the current challenge. Okay, so. Okay, this is the SB8 workshop shed. Let's see. Which I should be able to grab that there. Click here. The workshop shed. And this is by Khazul. I'm probably butchering that, but that's, I'm human. Here's the link to it on the workshop. Okay, let's take a look at this. I believe I got a brief look at this earlier as I was testing around, experimenting with trying to get this area here. But let's go adjust the day-night. Speed time. Okay. Well, wandering around down here. Okay. Having flattened the ground here, we can see that they've included some pillars on the underside of the base. I've done this something similar to a bunch of my bases where I don't necessarily have basements or whatever the case may be, where I've done that for structural integrity, because yes, some areas might be mostly flat, but not necessarily always totally flat. So once your base starts getting a little bigger, it can be hard to have the base sitting flat on the ground, just spawning it in your survival game. So this is what I'll probably be doing unless I get lazy or something like that. I will spawn it in twice, once so I can just get a look at it, the whole thing on a flat, and then another just kind of in the game. This is more realistically what you're going to see is the try to place it somewhere where it's somewhat flat, but a lot of it's rolling hills, fairly flat, but still not absolutely flat. If someone does know a way to make a totally flat base, I am going to throw in here. I've been working on creating my own Discord server. So if I go click here, I think, let's see, how about, wait a minute, let's see, no, it's not that. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to edit that to expire never. Number of uses, currently no limits. Generate a new link. Copy that, stick that in here. Okay. Stuff. So if you know a way to make a totally flat world, I'd appreciate knowing. So yeah, so I threw that in there. Link stuff, and let's see. Currently, only a couple of people know about it, but now that it's there, I guess it's public. But let's see. Okay, what was I doing? So let's see. So I just commented that this is for the structure. But let's go ahead and let's do God mode so I can get up here just easily. Granted, this is creative, so if it's done in the jetpack would have got me up here. But here we have 2 pads suitable probably for your SV or HV. The challenge was a starter base with pads, or I should say with pad. It didn't say. So the fact that they've got 2 here, that's more than the. So, okay, we got a ladder over there. Let's do God mode. It's not as noisy. Let's see. Ladder over there would allow you to, get up. That stuff would be tempting. You can see over here with the ground uneven, the ladder ends up being a little spaced on the side here, but I'm guessing that on this other side I'm going to end up with it pretty darn close to the ground. So the fact that they got the ladder on all 4 sides allows you to accommodate for uneven ground no matter where it's placed. Okay. Got a couple of turrets. Let's see. I know another requirement for this was for it to be upgradable. So let's see. Base guide. Switch this display on off in the control panel. Base guide switch. Switches door open. Close the door open while powered on. Power control panel. Power to constructors, food processors, lights, and door. Closed when power off. Grow plots. Replace all the wooden boards with grow plots. Switch on grow lights in the control panel. Okay, CPU Tier 2 extender can be placed behind CPU core. Tier 3 extenders can be placed on either side of the Tier 2 extender. I'm going through this. I'm going, I got lazy. On some of my CVs, I've listed instructions how to upgrade them and stuff. On my base, I admit I did not. But just so they actually have instructions. Fill areas behind cargo controllers with up to 14 extenders for a total of 120K each. Add up to 6 large cargo boxes above small constructor and food processor area. Medical replace clone chamber with medical station. Add medical stations types 1 through 4 were marked with lines on the ground. Other upgrades, CAT, small constructors, set to follow constructor signal for power control. A repair station set to follow repair station signal for power control. So it sounds like they've got some signals already set up that basically they're saying when you add these upgrades you should be able to set them to the signals. When desperate, furnace, an outer grow plot area near medical is easier to avoid heat. Could be used for a furnace if you cut away the truss and light above. Shield, an outer grow plot area near fridge. Could be used for shield if you cut away the truss and light above. Markings above the are 2 more Tier 1 generators and a Pentexa tank could be placed. There's a space next to the Tier 2 extender for Tier 3 extenders. Upgrade with other buildings in the series. This base is part of a series of specialized buildings, and so is the starting point for a large late game compound consisting of several separate buildings, with DT1 defense tower and SB7 factory being the most obvious next steps. See the shed series on my workshop. So go to the workshop, check out the full series. Oh, I'm curious about something. I noticed it when I was playing around in Reforged recently. I forgot to see if it was something in vanilla. Upgrade. No upgrade exists. Okay. That must be a Reforged thing. Dang it all. Okay. If any of the developers happen to watch this, which is probably slim to none, that would be one of the things of like, there might be things I question with Reforged, as popular as it is, and I do have been playing Reforged lately, but that's one of the things. I want to say that I could click on the and it would upgrade to the medical station. Like, that was so nice. Now there might be other reasons for the different tree or whatever the reasoning be. O2 armor locker in a starter base. Typically, not that they have to be there, but it is nice to have the way to put on that first armor. A bunch of my, depending on my starting path, they did remember mention an A and a T. Okay, what was T again? Teleporter. Okay, and A was repair station. Okay. I have a whole bunch of marked lines. And they had instructions. Oh, that's right. They said grow plots here. And then you had the lights. And they did say that some of the spots, if you wanted, you did take out the grow light and the trusses. And you could put in something larger like a furnace or a shield. Okay. Oh, and you put all the generators clear up there, so you don't have to worry about the heat or any radiation from the generator. Just personal preference, but my personal preference would actually have been to flip even though those are the bases of the generators, and so you think you set the generator down on that. Part of me would be tempted to just, even though they look like that base just looks like it would sit on those trusses nicely, there'd probably be the temptation for me to have flipped, rotated it so that was actually on the ceiling, just because personal preference, I just happen to like the look of the generator itself. So if when you have something like the trusses that you're looking through the truss, even though it's more realistic that the base be down, for visual, I probably have done it the other way around. Just so when I'm looking up through the truss, I'm like, oh, I like the look of that. Even though what they've got here is more realistic. Okay. Manual switch. Oh, and this was door auto. Door open. I'm not sure what you would leave the door open for. I know I do have manual switches on some of my stuff, but I'm not sure I have it on my... I know eventually I have it on some of my bases, but those are bases that I have planned that you'll park a capital vessel in there, and the sensors on a door do not act to a capital vessel. Granted, once you throw a door on some sort of signal work with a motion sensor or something like that, it will then, whatever signal work it's thrown on, it will go to that instead of. So this could be I suppose if you do a power off, I thought they said something about if you powered something off, that it would. I'm not going to keep poking around it, but I thought they said something about if you did something off, the door would be closed. You know, and it may be a way to keep the door closed, locked. Little bedroom. I'm sorry, I just keep seeing that shower, and I just think of Excalibur with their stuff. It actually doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I'm just, but since he makes such a point of it, you know, you see that sort of stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, Excal, he'd be throwing some sort of conniption over that, wouldn't he? Possibly. Okay. I see those arcs back there and stuff. So I'm guessing that that's where you extend the containers. And just, oh, there would be, if in doubt, if I can't get the drone through anywhere else, I am guessing that I can get a drone up through, yeah, so I wouldn't have to remove anything. Yeah, I can get the drone up through there. Yeah, that's, okay. I got it, I think. Oh, which would then give me, get you doing the drone, which would allow me to get up here and get some of these spots for expanding the base. Put more up on the rails. They did mention, you know, that you could put something up behind the, so put a tier 2 behind the core, and then 2 tier 3 extenders. Yes. So okay, I see. Yeah. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. And two large constructors. Your fridge and your food processor. A couple of things I do like in a starting base myself. Start making some potentially some medicines, or get more creative with the food, so it's not just simply your energy bars. And I think your portable constructor can do some meat related stuff, you know, your steak, and like, I want to say there might have been a couple other things it can do, but to actually get, you know, have some little more fun with the creative on your foods. Yeah, I do enjoy that, but mostly I would probably say the food processor. I use that to make the grow plots between the food processor and the constructor, the stuff, to make your seedlings and your you know, get your farm started. Okay, and this is okay. Well, that does go down some stairs there, so I could, if it was touching the ground, I could get up that way. And I know if I had jump pack enabled, and this, it just gets really noisy here in the creative game. Okay. Let's go hit God mode. Take a look. How well did I do placing this here? Walk right on up. Pads. And despite this bit of a slope to the hill here, it looks like I did fairly well on, so both those stairs accessible. Oh, there's a couple ramps here, so even if there was a little bit of a gap to the ground, you could deploy those for your HVs. So hover vessels could oh, there's a motion sensor there. There's probably one there. I just probably interrupted it by clicking on the ramp myself. Messed with things. Okay. Some nice signal work, nice stuff. Okay. Well, if I want to move on to looking at the next base, I'm going to have to clear this out. What is this? 1005. I think that's probably 1004 then. So destroy 1004, 1005, and okay. Mark that off on my list. I did that one. Then we have, okay, fun. And let's narrow down to bases. Procyon Pocket Station. We'll stick it down. It's kind of small here. Let me take a quick look around it. Okay. Looks like if I were to properly place it, I'm not sure. I'm going to guess that I probably actually want to put that one side uphill, so the other, it's facing away down. Okay, so let's see, what is it? No, that's up and down. I need to rotate the thing. Okay, here we go. We need, let's move this a little further away so I can see what I'm doing. No. My hill seems to be a little, come on, give me something really close, not perfect, just close enough. Okay, there we go. There. Now I can go up do the walkway between the solar panels. I am guessing from what I saw there that there's probably no basement, so I'm guessing I don't have to worry about any of this being underground. Now I might want to go take a look at some of the stuff that might be hidden under there. Okay, so we have our large constructor, I mean not a large constructor, our large container there, clone chamber. Oh, that's all what I forgot to look on the other one. I forgot to, let's look at the resource costs on the other one, just out of curiosity. It was the workshop shed. Oh, and I need to throw down the link to this one. Workshop shed, stone, iron, silicon, copper, carbon substrate, wood planks. Very, very reasonable stuff. There's no reliance on loot there. Loot could probably assist finding some of those things to loot, but you know, those are almost always something you can mine on a starter world. Let's see, Procyon Pocket Station. Let's copy that in chat. Come on, give me Procyon chat Pocket Station. The URL. This is probably ProcyonLotor. Okay. And the Procyon Pocket Station. Again, we're down to iron ingot, stone dust, wood planks, carbon substrate. Yeah, all are very low cost. This is, you know, very reasonable for a starter base. Okay. I know we have some space here for expansion. I'm not sure. I'm thinking there's enough space here to put a large constructor in here. Stuff. We have our small constructor here, which is a good place to start. Stuff. Fridge and food processor. I like the little bar here. Looks like a cozy little place. Little bedroom. drone chamber, get a place to put on our first armor. Yep. I have a gut feeling some of the mechanical stuff is down in the base of that. That's out of curiosity. Let's go God mode, go click. Okay, the base looks like it's pretty much flush here, so it's not on stilts, but it is a small footprint, so it's despite the uneven ground, getting it all structurally sound is very easy. But we're going to go God mode to go look down through here. Oh, we have our ammo, O2 fuel generator, okay, our solar battery, and our core. Okay. Well, that does lead me to the next question: is how much CPU are we using? Because some of the upgrades, it looks like there's some room for some upgrades in there, but CPU statistics, we're using 24,000 of 80,000, so there's plenty of room in CPU to add some. Probably the one upgrade myself I'd probably do with this is to put a large constructor in there, even if I don't add a lot of storage, just simply some of the stuff you can build a large constructor to build a whether to be building some defensive turrets, ammo, advanced materials for your some of the more advanced blocks for your SVs or HVs, just the stuff. And we do have looks like a pad on top. I must have missed. I see this down. Oh, okay. This is the door in the ceiling I failed to see, and looks like it's a 2-block distance. With the railings there, you're definitely going to have to aim there. But on most worlds, you should be able to make that with a jetpack. So you would definitely need to be putting on your armor and using the jetpack to get up there. But it's very possible. Very possible, very plausible. Okay. Small, cheap. And some of the critical parts well defended underneath the rest of the base. I love the I love some of the little details in here. As I said, I love the bar. Actually, I love this antenna work going on there. This, to me, this feels like just a small outpost sort of place. Have your little personal SV parked on top there. Although HVs probably can make it up there. I know some of my HVs, if I couldn't make it up over here, make some sort of clearance on this, I would definitely be able to drive it up the back side there. So I think it is conceivable to park HV up there. So, but SV definitely. So. Small SV pad. Okay. Okay, let's see. And this, since this is 1006, and I guess the other one's going to be 1007. Okay. Next on my list is the FRK T1 Cedar Mansion. Okay, this one's a little bit bigger, and it's again the structural integrity trick of building some structure underneath the base to accommodate potential slopes without having to think about it too much. Okay. And that is the FRK T1 Cedar Mansion. Click that there. And this is by Niagara Warrior. Let's see. to that. Okay. I'm seeing something. I'm guessing that's just a motion sensor or something down here. Curiosity. Curiosity's got me there. I'm curious what that is. Okay, God mode. It looks like a light. Devices. That is a light. Okay, that has got me really curious. Oh, and I forgot to spawn one of this over on the ground. Let's reuse this spot here. I'm guessing that red line denotes. I don't think I need to worry about entering these 4 other pods. They look to me like where you could place some turrets. So mostly just for the moment try not to bury the solar panels in the ground. Cross my fingers. Yeah, not quite perfect, but you know, close. Okay. Okay, so that's got me curious there. I'm almost tempted if there's that light, because light passes through blocks in the game, so I'm wondering if that light has some sort of effect going on right there. Okay. So I might have not put the other ones in the dark, and I'm not just going to keep respawning these bases in and out. But this one I might want to just simply I'm guessing I don't have, granted there's, you know, by default has a little bit in there. Oh, even though this is very likely going to be on the ground, you're not going to see under there, little texture work under there, cool. I'm guessing that this is going to be the similar. So I'm going to guess trust the other one's going to be the same as well. Oh, here's our entrance. Spinning that thing around, trying to figure out where the entrance was, but here I got a good look from underneath. Okay, and I am just going to take a guess with that there. I am guessing that there's not going to be anything actually critical inside this. But with a retractable turret, retractable sentry gun there, I can almost envision that you would, with that there, that you would actually put retractable, like minigun turrets there. It's kind of annoying how it's doing that walking sound. I'm on the area where the base is, but not actually on the base. Frac Corp, your future is our business. This structure is designed for the ZeroG challenge number 11 Tier 1 starter base. Made mostly of wood, this structure is designed to be as affordable as possible and should be upgraded into concrete as resources become available. Every room has space for additional equipment, fuel tanks, or upgrades to be installed. Turret weapon mounts are outside. Oh, well, I figured that was a pretty safe guess on those. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm really tempted. I'm going to go over here to this one. It's just a gut feeling that depending on how if that red line is what I think it is, that simply getting that lined up there, there's no need to actually drill out, grab your hand drill and drill out any of this. Oh, okay, that's just the sign. Getting myself lost and confused. Okay. Okay. Feels like there's a lot of space to upgrade here. I'm guessing this marks another generator? Or expand the generator or something? This, you could, I definitely see that you could place that with a larger O2 tank and it would go up. Oh. I'm curious. I'm guessing there might be a way to get upstairs. Now, there's the stairs up. Very beautiful. Oh, the door right there. I'm looking at all this glass wall and like, okay. Very beautiful room in here. Customize this room to be whatever you want. For me, I kind of see more like a dining area or a lounge myself. Probably because the glass. And this is a private luxury home, in which case, you know, that maybe that's a bed chamber, but you know. Well, I'm guessing that here we can have our garden, and that looks like the power room is down in there below. So this is to get the O2. What I was looking up at was to get the O2 into the garden. And there's our grow lights. Okay. Well, nice lounge. Here we have our dining area. Yep. I like that. Is this another? No, what is this? This is not another garden. Okay. I am not sure. For me, this I would visualize for role play sort of stuff like this is some sort of access where materials and products were brought up, because you would have your constructor here, so for processing. But I am not sure. Stuff. Oh, that's interesting. Could be wrong, but this window, I think it's unfortunately, because these windows, it would be consistent with the tinting of these windows, I think. Just simply the fact though that room. I am not sure. We'll do a quickly. Hold on. Is it? Come on, I don't want to retrieve block. I don't want to stuff. Change in road. There we go. Okay. So I guess it is, the tinting is, it would be darker from that room into this room. Yeah, I kind of noticed that I picked out for considering how many times I've messed up myself. I don't know if this is intentional or if this is it just happens to be, unfortunately, this window's caught in the transition between that room and this room. From the outside, I would imagine that you would need the big window to continue the theme and look on the outside, but from the inside, it almost be like two small windows there, so one can match the tinting of this room versus the other one be the tinting of the other room. but then from the outside it would be, you'd have that the two small windows in contrast to the big windows. It'd be not an easy call for me to stuff. I would say that the long windows make more sense from the outside visual appear of the building. So I think this window just gets unfortunately caught in the transition. Okay. So, and if I was to choose which room that that window would be consistent with, it would be this room. If that room, that window being caught between the two, this is the room that I feel that it would best for it to match. Oh, we get a little balcony. And another, let's go up the next set of stairs. Okay. A winding staircase. Oh, we probably have our pad up on the roof. That'd be my guess. Now this I could see making a bedroom. But this here, we actually have a bedroom, and a very luxurious master suite. Yeah, there might be some furnishings that we'd be tempted to throw in here, but as far as having a very very spacious room with our facilities. Okay. Although I think nowadays they're trying to call it something other than a master suite. I'm not sure. Homeowner's suite. Okay. Now this sentry, the defense is supposed to be placed around there, so I suppose looking at this, there'd be some temptation to say, "Oh yes, another turret," but I think these are supposed to be your SV pads. I think that's what it's really supposed to be. I like this. I like that. Creative use of that texture with the yellow and that stuff. I think it borders that door nicely. Okay. Okay, I don't think I've explored most of the base. Oh, I do remember looking through that one and looking down. Let's see, that was the constructor area over there. I think that was over there. Ah, here's the spot I missed to look through. Yep. Okay, here we have our ammo box, solar core. I think they're actually planning some sort of upgrades in here. I don't know if this is supposed to be indicate you would upgrade your storage with that or not. Although you do need the ventilators here, and I like how they're doing the piping work off the ventilator. The question would come through my mind, would you need to leave a spot for the ventilator to go through there, or would well, that door is not O2, does not pass O2 through that door. But without checking, it could be possible that the O2 flow would come from over in the all the way over from the the farm, the grow plots, because I saw that there was O2 flow through there. So as long as those were glass doors through that, that would be the, you could do some upgrade in there and cut off the O2 flow, but to have the upgrade storage or whatever is appropriate. So, which if you're doing an upgrade storage, it would probably go up into those brackets a little bit as well, and look visually correct. Sure, that's got to be sometimes looking at some of my builds, like, oh, he's indicating something goes here, but I can't figure out what. In which case, you put your own upgrade there. Okay. The sentry gun over your entrance to your base. So, yeah. And I like some of the texture work on these. And the little decals, the details, which I guess isn't technically texture work. It's kind of deco elements to add character to it. Okay. Oh, and that's right, there was a light underneath. What does that light do? So if we drop, let's see, it was, where is that light? It is located down here, which is, oh, I see it. I don't even have to go dark to go see it. It's lighting up this this alcove where the statue is. I see, I see. Producing a nice glow effect there. And then for this statue, the lighting's from above. But for this one, since there's not enough space to place a light right there, you do it from beneath. I see, I see. Okay. So. Okay. Let's get ready for the next one. Okay. The Kiith Adobe home. Oh, that one previous one, even though it said it was cheap and that stuff, that was the FRK T1 Cedar Mansion, wood, silicon, iron, copper, carbon substrate, you know, again. And, you know, they did say it was mostly wood, and that reflects there and stuff, so yeah. Okay. And, okay, so here we go. Again, looks like the base is pretty much solid on the ground. Looks like we have 2 blocks to allow for uneven terrain. So if we go over here where it's mostly flat, but as I said, it's usually not. No, wrong one. I was looking at that one, the Kiith Adobe home. And probably only need to have it down far enough to that you can walk up onto the platform there. Okay. Part of me is tempted to just go God mode into the bottom here with that gap there. I'm almost tempted to wonder if there's God mode. Okay, everything seems to be above. Oh, we do have a generator down here in the under. Oh, interesting. Go out of God mode. There is underneath. So there is the possibility of using your hand drill and clearing out a path to access generator, and I am guessing trapdoor. That is a trapdoor. And it's open on both when spawned in. So, let's. I'm not seeing some sort of signal there. So I'd almost want to say that wish there was that trapdoors on a signal or something to so that you could open and close it. Okay, so LS temptation. I'm going to go right up the, and here we have our pad. SV pad. I like the use of the lighting here. I know that could be considered part of for the ladder here, but if this was for one of my designs, I would be looking at this lighting as a guide for landing my SV. Like, I need to land between these lights when landing my SV as a guide for landing. I wonder what that motion sensor's for. It's only on this side. Poke. Signal logic. It is called landing pad. Oh, I wonder if that's lighting for the landing pad. Yeah. And the thing is, doing the light texture here, and that's what I've done with some of mine, for guiding the stuff, as I'm using the light texture because it can, depending on how far out you can see the light texture. Again, before you hit the motion sensor, you can help see where you are going. And okay, I am not sure if I'm trying to re-enter from the same side I was initially approached, or if I'm doing it from the other side. It looks like there might be symmetry here, so it looks like it probably didn't matter. Okay. Okay. Curiosity, I'm like, I want to pull that switch, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we have a fridge and food processor, as I've mentioned before. I like that, and starting to build some better stuff. Okay. I am going to click on signal logic, see if it just lever, motion sensor, trap door, multiple use. Crawl space. Oh, they might already have that crawl space on a motion sensor. Was that where it was? Was that where the crawl space was, or was it on the other side? I can't. Might already have. Yeah, that's yep. Multiple use trapdoor. It's on. Okay. Cool. Okay, we have our spot for our farm. Ammo storage. Looks like I'm guessing some space that we can build some larger additional storage off our large constructor. It's my build, the stuff. I was debating between two bases to polish up for this challenge. The reason I didn't go for the other base is because it has a higher unlock. They both technically have high cost for a starter base, so it's very conceivable by the time you have the materials to build either my starter bases that you already have achieved the necessary unlock level. But that was the biggest reason I chose between the when I choose between the two is your standard controller and your extensions. I want to say it's the container extensions. So if we go to base, your container controllers are level 5, which seems very reasonable for a starter base for me. It's the container extensions unlock level 7. Really start pushing it up there, and that was why I did not choose the one base, is because the extensions push it to a higher unlock. So I ended up choosing the base with a lower unlock for myself. But this looks like it's a base planned out that you could then pull out these two and replace it with a container extension. Granted, if I were playing with it, I'd probably be putting the container and the extensions up there first, transfer all the goods up, take these out, and just extend the container the rest of the way down so it's all one big container. That's what I'd probably do. Okay. I don't... How log's that? Okay. Interesting. I'm going to go God mode again. Oh, that's where the core is hiding. Underneath that pillar. Aha. It's like, I thought I saw the core when I was take a peek underneath to see if the stuff was hiding under there. Okay. Oh, no, not that. Come on. Here we go. And with that, with the beveled edges here and the extra space, this works well on a mostly flat area. I'm pretty sure it can handle some slopes, but this would be the key. This is the key side that you'd have to make sure was you actually could get up and down from. The other side probably doesn't matter as much if the hill exposes more of it, because this is where you actually enter. This side is where you actually enter the base between these two doors. So, and I happen to have pushed this a little further down on the ground, so there's plenty of margin for some slope to be involved. Okay, I like the look. I'm curious. I'm going to have to take a look at this from above. Okay. Got so focus on some of the other stuff. Quite the nice, good solar array there. I saw the 2 solars from there. Stuff. So I like it. Okay. But I have more bases to... did I actually put links to this one? I forgot to put the links for them. The Kiith of Adobe Home. I do apologize for that. By Fenra 369. Let me get these on there. I do apologize. The Kiith Adobe Home. Fenra 369. There we go. Okay. So. Okay. Now, okay, I was going to destroy them so I could look at the next. 10, 11, next on as base A BA. Another smallish base, and the Kiith Adobe Home, that was a lot more stone dust on the stuff. Titanium rods, a very small cost on titanium rods, which you're probably going to find on the moon, and the rest stuff, moon or loot. You know, that's a good chance you might get with a small cost like that, easily get some titanium rods and loot without having to go far. Even some of the wrecks, depending what materials they're built out of, might pull some titanium rods easily. So base ABA. Okay, that's what I was pulling in here. This is from sulusdacor. Okay. Base BA. Base ABA. I'm going to have trouble with that. Because, you know, for me, I kind of like the BA. Well, base dash A BA. I don't know how to explain that. It's just kind of... Okay, here we go. Link to the workshop page for this. This looks like another one that I can... small enough footprint, and it looks like I can just probably place this right on a mostly flat area. Let's give this a little spin though. There we go. That looks like our entrance. So go ahead and we'll stick that there like that. Okay. Oh, we got a back door here. And the stairs go all the way to the ground. So if I had placed it just flat against the ground, didn't push it down at all, it would have been just fine that way. And then how would that work with the other side? Did that also go all the way down? I think it might have. Okay. Yeah, this also went all the way down. Okay. Now, I don't think you need to actually have a totally flat area for this to be placed. I think what will end up happening is that either the stairs or will just come right up out of the ground, or that will come right up out of the ground, you know, stuff. Either way will work out just fine, I think. So maybe I didn't need to push it down as far as I did. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe I'll find that there's a basement there, and maybe I shouldn't have, you know, pushed down, you know, just maybe a slight. Oh, look, there's a little area down here. It'll be interesting to see what if I ended up putting so that it was dirt in here. Granted, it probably wouldn't take a whole lot to clear this out. There isn't much that would prevent you from easily cleaning that out with the drill. So it's a big enough area there. I almost think you could put a shield or a furnace in there. Here we have our large constructor. I'm guessing that you can expand some storage next to it here. Oh, and here we have green and red. I'm guessing in and out. Okay. Oh, it's just called green. That's called red. Cargo output 80K or 16K green. Cargo 80K extendable. I don't suppose that I'm standing on that. Is it? Carbon composite, carbon composite, carbon composite. Okay, now I'm a little I know this definitely looks like adding cargo extension to me. And I was just tempted to see if I was standing on the the input, which as soon as I saw that, that tells me that we're probably looking at an unlock level 7. Yeah. So, which depending on how your gameplay is going, it's again unlock level 7. It actually is fairly reasonable for a starter base. You know, I do tend to try to aim a little bit lower, but as I said, I myself was debating between a couple of my starter bases, and one of those would have been an unlock level 7 as well. So it's not like I can speak poorly of that, because one of my starter bases, that is the condition. I just chose not to put it in this challenge. Grow area, so we have our farms. Let's start. Whoop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. God mode. Come on. If God mode's not necessary, I do like walking on the area, just kind of get a feel for how you'd see it and feel it. And of course, I proceed to fall into the area there. I don't think. Well, this is a smaller fall. That there, you know, roleplay purposes, you know, like it's like the controls have to be more accessible, you know, look like that, you know. So I don't like. But part of me is also like, but if I'm going to fall in there, I want a railing. But that wouldn't look right, because that would block your access to controls. Conflict. I like that. I really do like that. If I were putting a railing on it, it's not because it would look right. It would totally look wrong for this. I would just be doing it so that someone like myself doesn't just keep falling in there. Because I just see myself like, yeah, you know, checking things out, wandering through my base, plop, not again, plop, not again. Could I like stop doing it? It looks right. I mean, a railing would be just totally wrong for the looks. But for someone like myself, who I could just see myself walking that, oh, this is one of the wall blocks. I was like, what's going on here? It's kind of interesting. It's one of the, what is it? I'd have to. I'm pretty sure it's one of the wall tech shapes. Corridor elements. Yeah, corridor elements. I think it's this one. I think it's that one. If I click the multi-tool, does it tell me? Retrieve block. Is there anything that... I know there's probably some... I know there's a way to look up a specific block info. But I'm not in the habit of doing it. You know, it's kind of like, yes, I'm going to... The one time I'm curious, what if that's really that shape? And I think it is. Oh, I've never used that command before. I know it exists. I never use it. I'm not going to go look for that command right now. The chances of me, who knows? Maybe I'll find that I'll start wanting, you know, curiosity. I'll like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? Maybe I'll start hitting that more often. But at least for the moment, this is my first time. Like, I think it's that shape. Yeah, I'm not going to go try to learn that command right now. Oh, I am pretty sure that a bunch of this is LCD. Yeah, levitating right off of that. I was like, wait, some of this doesn't look like the default stuff on this, especially saying that right off there are the 80K and cargo. So I'm like, I love how they do echoing the shapes that go on with this. So it really feels like it's part of it. But yeah, here's our 80K containers and extensions and stuff. Oh. Okay. And this one's I almost would have missed that door if I hadn't just happened to see it, because you have to see that, and those aren't doors, at least as far as I can tell. So you're just like, what is like, oh, just another. But here we go. Interesting. Upgrades in here or below the base. Keep an eye on the structural integrity when digging below base. Rest of the upgrade spots should be clear. Okay, interesting. They've got a whole bunch of spot space underneath the base that you can pretty much upgrade how you see fit. So that 80K storage could be really expanded to a full 320K system. I could easily fit a tier 2 and the tier 3 extenders down here. Expand some generators. You know, so that one spot looked like it was a very suitable perhaps for a furnace or shield. You know, I admit my inclination would probably be to go with a furnace, but I'm not sure. I love the little look out here, and since this is an airtight door, you don't have to worry about the seal of the air. But this, okay. Now I'm curious. No, I am really curious. Okay, let's see. I mean, there's a little bit of oxygen there. Is it enough? No. No, I'm going to have to grab. Let's see. O2. Oh, no, that's under weapons. Okay. Let's fill this up. Turn on oxygen. And debug, show oxygen. Okay, so it is airtight. Okay. I was just kind of curious because they've been making the areas that oxygen can flow through smaller and smaller. It's like, okay, it's still airtight. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That answers that question. Wait. Oh, there's an upstairs. I'll go upstairs here in a moment. I'm not done with this place then, apparently. I am enjoying a lot of this texture and deco work. Does that mean this is supposed to be expandable up into... okay, God mode. I'm taking a look into here. This doesn't go anywhere, so... you eventually replace that with a larger container. Pop that out, put a bigger container in there. I don't know. Just guessing. Or is it just like that for visual effect? Because it is a cool visual effect going on. You know, lots of cool little visual effects. Little glow bits here and there, and oh my god. Wonderful. Kind of look through here and like, oh. Oh. Interesting. So here we have a nice bedroom with a view. Have your little desk. View over the bay. I didn't even try. Yeah, I think I walked near the hangar doors and they opened. Yeah. Oh, more piping. Let's go up here. Out onto the pad. Rooftop pad. And okay. Is this by chance a balcony I just failed to find a door to? Or this is just some of the roof line that it looks like it's just some of the roof line. There's the view from the bedroom out over the roof. And plenty of room here for a... Oh, come on, no, that's what I wanted to go God mode here. Oh, I like the effect of those. Oh, that gives us a little weathered look. Like it's weathered a few a Xerox attack or two. Okay. A nice roof pad there. I'm guessing that as a, so you have you could add another turret over there, another turret over with angle over here, another turret there. So they're staggered. Yeah, at least that would be my guess. Okay. Oh. Over here, oh, apparently I didn't put it too far deep, so and it looks like I got it just to, you can't, other than probably needing to clean up a little dirt there, and what impact that might have. You can't even tell that I buried the stairs there. It just comes on a like a little platform right on in. But you can see that I got some dirt there and there. Yeah, after I'd placed, started looking at the other one there, I started getting the feeling that I had placed this further down than I needed to. So, into the hill. So yeah. Probably would have been better to, lift it up just a tad instead of pushing it down quite so. Because those, that one ramp went all the way down. The other entrance went all the way down. So yeah, it would have been, if I had probably drawn the line more somewhere in this bottom row, my guess is that then there wouldn't have been the dirt in some of those areas. You still would have probably, for the basement expansion there, you might have still had to do some excavation to do some of the expansion they were talking about in that thing, their LCD, about expanding in the underneath the base, but and I have totally done expansions underneath my bases where I actually just, the base didn't have a basement, and I just totally excavated underneath the basement, adding a stairway down, adding a whole new area where I threw in furnace and multiple container systems, and and depending on the slope where I was parked and the design of the base, I might even thrown in a garage, stuff that extended out. So yeah, definitely a nice little base. Okay. And this, that was the base BA, and stone dust, carbon starlight, silicon, copper, ingot, plate. Again, everything you're going to be able to find easily enough. The costs are fairly low. Stone dust is a little bit higher. The stuff, but yeah, there's a good chance that you could probably have the materials for this at a lower level than 7. That it's just a guess, just a hunch. But depending on how you play the game, you know, there are people that level up a lot faster than some of us, and level 7. As I said, I have, so my starter bases are level 7, so I have nothing to talk about on that. So other than to say, you know, that I've definitely done that myself as well. Next on my list is actually my own base, but I'm going to make that one last. So let's go skip to the what I put last on my list, and we'll make that one next. The PMW-BA-Camp Home early game base level 7 CPU T1 SC0.67 Version1+Reforged. So I think that what they're saying is it's compatible with both Reforged and vanilla version 1 of the game. So either or. And I suppose I better clear these ones out so I have some space to bring that in. Destroy 112, destroy 113. Okay. And it was the PMW-BA-Camp Home early game. Yeah, nice long name there. Oh, I remember seeing, when I was checking out to make sure my area was big enough, this is pretty much what I saw of these bases, was their outline. I was like, okay, it's small. I've cleared enough area. The base will fit. This, I'm going to definitely do one here. I think it might be small enough. I might be able to bring in one. Well, let's the other ones, let's be fair, I've been bringing it in on the slightly uneven ground that you find elsewhere. Fairly well, I've been spawning other bases in there, so maybe it's been getting flatter, I don't know. Although it seems like it's been okay. Now I think this base would be right about there. I think right up. I think this is roughly, this is just a guess, that base would come in right about there. And reasoning for that is I did see this base previously, that outline, and I was like, this looks like a wreck. Now I hadn't. Yeah, those are thin blocks. That's why it's. Maybe I could have set it down right. See, those are thin blocks. The wall, and so as I'm looking at it here, yes, it's suspended above the ground and stuff. But I think that those are thin blocks. Okay. So, but I think this is made to look like a space wreck. You know, a spaceship that wrecked, and then a base is built around it. At least that's my guess, is that that's what this is. Camp Hope. I'm guessing that I'm bringing that, spawning that in, that LCD projector is buried under the ground. So that would just look like it's, with that color on the wood, it would look like it's just carved into the wood and not an LCD projection so much. So, and then some of this blocks, you know, make it look like the residue of thrusters you know, like aged and rusted and really quite gone. Because for a legal to bring in a base legally for vanilla, you can't have. Yes, a POI base can have thrusters like it's a crash ship, but for us as the players, that's not a legal part for a base stuff. So I think they're just going for some of the effect and the look of, you know, just really giving it that role play type feel here. Sentry gun off the fin, turret there, and I think this is really to make look like, even though it's even though this is not airtight, at least I don't think it is, give it the, you know, like this would have been the cargo bay, so that, you know, that when we have our container that we can work with, looks like 2 containers. Yeah. I love the torches here. Like someone has just, you know, casually moved in and living here. We have our generator. Oh, I love. I didn't see any red warning about illegal blocks here, so I'm guessing you can bring it in, but I'm guessing that that is not your typical deco. Oh, the toilet on top of this. If you don't put your cursor on that and figure out that that's the O2 tank, it's like, oh yeah, it's a spaceship, and the toilet's on top of the O2 tank. But I wouldn't want it on top of the fuel tank, because then I'm sitting on top of something that's toxic. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks totally all right for the floor of the toilet. It just happens to be when you throw the cursor down and see O2, like, that's the only reason is and you know why the reason I laugh? I had this in one of my builds, and I was looking at it, like, no, nah, my build, that did not seem right. Now, in something like this, that, you know, they're just reclaiming a ship that they the wreck, it makes total sense. You know, you're not gonna, you know, when you reclaim the wreck, you're not gonna be thinking, oh, that's the O2 tank and stuff. And I'm thinking that a lot of this, there is a force field here. Are those actually airtight? Is that? No, it's this one. Fills all oxygen. It's currently on. No, it's this one. Show oxygen. Yeah, I didn't think this area back here was airtight. It was just a guess that that was too big of a gap. Now, there was a time that probably wasn't too big of a gap, we might guess. But as they've adjusted things, and so, oh, we have our clone chamber. Oh, I like the interesting placement of the clone chamber. I didn't even connect at first it was the clone chamber until I was like, wait. I looked at that, I'm like, that's the clone chamber, isn't it? Armor locker. It almost makes me think like this is the warp drive that's wrecked here, and then from the wreckage of a warp drive we have the small generator and the other stuff here. You know, wouldn't even think of it, that, be like, oh, that's just, wreckage from the warp drive. No, that's actually the clone chamber, the stuff. I'm like, oh. This is just visually to me, it looks like the wreckage of a warp drive. Okay. I am guessing that is on a signal to keep it from, I don't know, back door, manual door. Yeah, like so that it'll act like floor. Put it on a signal. Okay. And here we have our nice little camp stuff. Yeah, really, you know, makes it really feel like this wreckage. Someone kind of moved in, and you know, it's either the survivors of the wreck, or someone else found the wreck and moved in and made it home. You know, that's what it looks like to me. So for roleplay elements, it's awesome. Yeah, it is awesome. Okay, let's go take a look at the this one where I tried to spawn it in. Let's see how well I did. I probably should have used this as a reference. I probably should have spun it around and used this as the reference to get it level with the ground. Yeah, I should have used this end, rotate it around, and use this end, level that with the ground. Yeah, I could probably hit the fill tool and level tool and do a bunch of stuff to try to fill that up in, but that's just not going to look the same as the ground just coming right up, especially since I'm on this desert planet for looking at these blueprints for these bases. That would have been just perfect. I mean, it's not quite the same shade of brown, but it still would have been just look awesome if it had just gone straight up there. Also, green planet, this, you know, this brown could look like as a cleared area, and I probably wouldn't even had to have gotten the ground to come perfectly to that, because this could be someone has built something here and built you know, thrown down some sort of cement or something like that, and so it just would have had to come close so that you could, you know, get up with it. Get up. And I think that then here actually probably would have been, because things are uneven, there's a good chance I may or may not, especially if I had that upslope, so that the rest of this kind of went down the hill, so that the ground would level, you know, point down. Although then we would have had the issue that this would have been, right now it's floating a bit, so I really should have lined that area up over there if I had lined it up. Granted, the ground seems to be sloping a little, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually sloping that way towards there is down, so it's sloping up here. So if I had gotten that level, these sacks would have disappeared into the ground a bit. But I think that would have worked better, having these sacks disappear if necessary. Because if I gotten that over there at least close, the good chances are that the bed and this would have still been close to, maybe the dirt could have come up here a little bit, but there's a good chance even if it had, it just been minimal, it would have, there's a good chance that the bed and the chest there would have been just fine. So yeah, I really should have lined it up over based on this here, I think, and then I think the rest of it would have worked a little better. Could be wrong, but that's just my guess. On a flat area, I could definitely get it, you know, so it was perfectly aligned that the sacks would have been sitting on the ground, the stuff. So, okay. That roleplay wise, that is an awesome build. Let's go. Let's destroy the 114. 115, and that was very inexpensive. Again, iron, stone dust, copper, silicon, carbon substrate, wood planks. unlock level 7. That is the container system on that. Otherwise, it's a very inexpensive base. Okay, this is the begin. Oh, nope, nope, it's not on the. It's one of my own local builds. Come on, come on, come on. Begin. The begin. I have here marked as begin 10.5. Actually, the begin base really comes back from, other than some refinements to the base over time, stuff. This actually is started as my very first base in Alpha 6. Now the begin I entered in as it is in the challenge actually represents some of the evolution of the base, and it is the reason this flat area is as big as it is. I think for footprint, I think mine is the biggest of the entries. Stuff. And the base is designed, in this case, yes, it could be kind of placed like this, but it is designed that you can place it easily down and then dig the other stuff out as appropriate. Okay, so mine is designed that you'd have to dig the basement out, the lower levels out, which is, the other bases were convenient that way. You did not have to do those. Now the one did have a walkway, but or crawl space with the trap door. That was just kind of cool stuff. But mine is designed that you can pretty much bury the lower sections of it, and so I've put it occasionally. I've put my some of my bases like this in the past on some more extreme slopes, so that one side is pretty much exposed or mostly exposed. My most recent use of this base, untextured, unpolished, but I used it anyways in a game. I had one of these sides mostly exposed, and what I did is I actually ripped it out. So I, with my multi-tool or my what is the tool? Survival tool. Basically pulled out a bunch of the blocks here and made a garage underneath this. But we'll take a look underneath the base here in a moment. This is one of those things. When I saw some of the other bases, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be the most expensive of the bases. Unlock level 5. As I said, I chose the one that didn't actually have the container extensions. Carbon substrate 4,326. Let's see, the iron, the silicon, the copper, the stone dust, the wood planks, those are all reasonable. It's the carbon substrate that gets up there. But the thing is, the difference between my base and a bunch of the other ones, this pad is a lot bigger. This pad can accommodate a small capital vessel. That's why I've occasionally placed this base on hills where I can pull out part of the blocks and stuff and build a garage underneath. That's where I would park my SVs and my HVs. I park the capital vessels up here. Now, granted, in the earlier game, before I have a capital vessel, this might be where I'm parking my HVs and SVs right here on the base. But once I get the capital vessel, then I'm probably making some sort of digging out or something like that to build a garage underneath, parking my HVs and SVs under the base, under the pad. This one, unlike some of the other ones, they're CPU and vanilla. Okay, I want to say I was using more at one point, but maybe I just lost track of which base is doing which and stuff. So there's some room here, but I'm using 56,000 CPU. Part of the reason for that is the blocks, just the sheer size of the base adds a lot of CPU to it. Yes, there are 4 turrets, at the four corners stuff, and that's not necessarily the cheapest. Even though a small constructor cannot build those turrets, so if you lose one, you're out of luck to replace it until you get a large constructor. The small constructor happens to be that even though the base and the CV don't list that 15mm rounds that those use, you can build the 15mm bullets under your SV and HV. So you can still make the ammo in this base. Stuff. Like some of the other bases, I have the grow lights, like a bunch of them, but not the grow plots. Here is, this is where you'd pull out and put in the grow plots. And, like some of the other bases that they had signal logic, there's a switch there, a switch there. Let's see. Oh, the evolution. Why do I have a CV pad on this thing? It wasn't for the challenge that I put a CV pad on this. That predates the challenge. This happens to be, this was just an unpolished work of mine that I polished up for the challenge. But the reality is that first starter base, the begin, when I first did it, yes, there was no attached CV pad to it. But I'd say almost every time I used this base, I would build on a pad for my CV, whether it was required or not by the game mechanics. Because I started playing in Alpha 6. Beginning of Alpha 7, they did play with a... it kind of didn't go over well, but it's still in there. You'll still find traces. They had a mechanic that you were required to spawn your HV, SV, and your CV on top of a base. And so whether or not that was that being a requirement ended before Alpha 7 was even done. It ruffled a bunch of feathers quite nicely on that, and so it became an option, not a requirement. And so, but the thing is, even before that, even in Alpha 6, before they even did that, I was building pads on the begin base stuff. So I'd spawn it in, and then I expand the base by building my pad. I might have been I built the CV first and then built the pad, but I was always building a pad on the stuff. So this just takes that concept and it's like just makes it official. Instead of building a pad afterwards, it became a part of the base. It's a standard feature. Okay. Here I have actually multiple bedrooms here. Stuff 1, 2, 3, 4 stuff. Then we have our shower and toilet, a little dining area, which again, this gets me my food processor and fridge. And then I have a small constructor with a couple cargo boxes. There should be sufficient space here if you want to go ahead and maybe take out some of the railings, because they would, I think they are, no, they might be positioned on the other side. Yeah, they're positioned on this side. You could be able to put a large constructor right here and then maybe replace that with a container system or something like that. This down here, you could put a furnace or a shield and stuff. Kind of really open on your choice what you want to do there. Personally, I'm guessing probably, I didn't mark what you put the upgrade there, but I'm guessing I'd probably put a furnace there. Okay, clone chamber, O2 station. Did I forget an armor locker on this thing, or did I? I might have. Yeah, I probably did. Unless it's down here. I'm not seeing it down here, so yeah, I forgot an armor locker. Oh well. My oversight. I will penalize myself for that. Probably not going to change the base though, to just throw an armor locker on there. Maybe throw it up in the greenhouse, but now this base actually here in the basement has quite a few fuel tanks, some O2 and stuff. The fuel tanks are designed, are in spaces to accommodate bigger fuel tanks than they are. The spots where the generators are, you could put there's a extra space. I didn't necessarily mark it out on the floor, but there's enough space for a longer generator, so the large generator instead of the small one. And so there's definitely space here to add perhaps a couple tier 2, tier 3 extenders there. Tier 2 extender maybe would right down there underneath that. We have our ammo box, our wireless, and this one I actually marked possible shield there. Okay. But as I was mentioning, a lot of my expansion of this base in the past not only has been adding a pad onto it, but when I have pads like this to actually build garages or other things, basically I just take the underneath space and I would then customize it to whatever I wanted. Maybe I'm parking a whole bunch of HVs, SVs. Maybe maybe I just want a whole bunch of storage. Maybe maybe I want a super farm. Like, oh yeah, the small farm's not good enough. I want more grow plots, more farm. I'll do a farm underneath. Okay. But yeah, the begin. And we'll go over here. See, it is mostly I buried a bunch of it in the ground, and there is no walkways over here, but there's walkways there and some stairs there off to the side as part of those ramps to get up out of the base. And where the other bases don't have this problem, mine does, is that it is, since it's designed for everything to be, well, buried, that, oh look, to really get to the base, of course now I'm messing up this world to reuse it for, I should have copied it before I did this. Should have listened to that little voice. So now I'll have to if I do this again, I'll have to recreate this all over again. A flat space for another, to look at bases again. But basically, this base, to really use it, gotta clear it out. Now I'm not going to torture you with the whole clearing the stuff, but certainly, especially, down there, or to expand it, or in this case, going off, the airtight door out to here. Now, there is one thing with the base that I'll point out. I did make it a point to actually include a motion sensor. The lights in the base are actually on a motion sensor. So as I move around inside the space, I'm triggering the motion sensors. I want to say that that's probably the other matching motion sensor. So if we go here, go devices, I tend to put the motion sensors I divide these things up, not in the auto and stuff, but lights interior, there's the 2 motion sensors. That one and that one. And if we do the interactive setup, God mode, you can't see it from here because it is here, and it kind of ends right about there. So it even, but it's the space underneath the pad. Most of it is in that motion sensor, which the two combined. If we go back here, this stuff, interactive setup, there's the motion sensor around the greenhouse. So as you're walking on the walkway or inside the base will light up. And like some other people, they they includes a few things. There's no large constructor on here. This is and there's I left that marked as cannons. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll fix that on the I'll fix that and update the workshop stuff at a later point, since those are now minigun turrets. Like, you can do the 15mm ammo. Otherwise, if I'd left the cannons there, you would have to basically spawn this in and either have a large constructor available or quickly use a small constructor to build a large constructor, so you could then build the ammo for the stuff. But having the minigun turrets helps, because you can build that ammo off the SV HV templates. But basically, if you were to go here, I actually already created a device group, so I can, myself. Typically, I know people will probably auto group it and mess these things all up. But right now, if I were to put a large constructor, put it in that group, it'll automatically, because I already tied that group in. In other words, I put a device that was powered into the large constructor group, connected that up, moves the device out. Now if I were to move a device in, it will automatically be part of that stuff. So just a little trick I've used in some of my builds. Okay, well, I think that's again ending with mine, partly because mostly I know the most about it. Granted, some of the other people definitely did a much better job of outlining where you put the upgrades, what they do, and whereas I kind of, where I've done that in some of my capital vessels, in this case I kind of got a little sloppy, and I did not include any instructions on how to upgrade the base. So, although I think the grow lights with this, I think that's somewhat self-explanatory. Now I'm looking over here, and it's like, back of my mind, replace one of these with an armor locker, maybe. We'll see. Because I am pretty sure, if we look at the devices, that what we'll find is that armor locker is not included. Yep. Okay, well, I might, here in a moment, I think I'm going to cut my stream here, because when I push this to YouTube, that way it'll just be me browsing these bases for the ZeroG Challenge 11, challenge number 11, and status stuff. I may get back on stream something else here in a little bit. I am not sure yet. I haven't actually made up my mind on that. This is what I definitely wanted to do tonight, though, as I wanted to get this done. My preference would have been to do this Saturday or Sunday afternoon, which would probably be a more convenient time for other people. Just a guess, that would have been a more convenient time. Although there are people pretty much all over the world playing this Imperion, I gather. So all our time zones are not all perfectly aligned. But I was thinking that if I'd just done it afternoon, but it didn't work out that way. And so today I did it after dinner. Okay. Well, enjoy.